Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be kind of sharing my me and Dakota story and how we went from talking to married in less than 4 months. So that being said, let's get this started. So Dakota and I met as in we started talking and like conversating over a website called meetme.com. I know quite a few people know about it. It's not exactly the best dating site, but I wasn't really using it for dating at the time. I was more using it for just kind of like talking to people. For a long time I'd used it for talking to people. For a few years when I was younger I used it for dating. Nothing ever really worked, so I kind of just didn't bother. So we talked for about a week before we decided we were going to do distance. I know like Dakota was not so sure about it in the beginning, and he was like, oh, we'll see how I feel, like whatever. So then eventually he kind of just realized that he didn't want me being with anyone else. So we kind of just were like, well, you're mine, I'm yours, but we're not technically together. So for 2 months we did that. We did distance. I just considered him a boyfriend because it was easier than explaining to everyone. I also didn't tell anyone for a minute because a lot of my friends are like, oh, you talk to so many dudes, but it's like I would talk to guys and they disappear within 1 to 4 days. I don't know if I gave them the emotional attachment they needed for a short term. I don't know. I have horrible luck with men. So after the 2 months, I moved to Alaska earlier than intended. I changed my flight from the 17th to the 6th and 7th because I just wanted out of California. I just wanted to leave. I was done. I was ready to leave. I just didn't care anymore. So I put my 2 weeks in when they called me off work because I didn't see a point in staying any longer if they're just going to call me off work for a week anyway. So got called off for a week. I worked for a week and had my going away that Friday. And then I left that Tuesday. So the whole time I didn't have a phone my whole flight. I had my laptop, so I would like talk to him to make sure he was picking me up, the whole 9 yards. So I like cried for 5 minutes and that was about it. And then I like was fine. And then so getting to when I first got to the airport in North Pole or Fairbanks, and I got off the plane and started walking, and it hit like a Mack truck. Like straight just was like, I'm about to meet my boyfriend. So then as soon as I saw him, I caught my breath and like my anxiety kicked in, my paranoia, like my fears kicked in, and I just was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to act. I don't know how to be. I didn't know shit. And so I saw him, we got my luggage, we got to the car, and then we left. Well, then we're driving home, we're driving to the house, and me, I've never really, I don't know, like, I don't really remember what the drive looks like. I mean, I've seen it a few times since I've lived here for 2 months now, but I don't remember what the drive looked like that night when we drove home. So, when we drove home, for the first week, he was very knowledgeable of like how I felt, and he wanted me very comfortable. He also bought me a sloth shower curtain that says you come here often, and it's like a sloth hanging. So I would be comfortable showering in his shower. So originally I was supposed to move in with my friend Amanda and Corey, but I had to wait till she came back from California. So for a week and a half I was living with Dakota, and then we got engaged. So we got engaged really quickly. We got engaged I think right after our 3 month. So that happened really fast. And so we got engaged after our 3-month. And then I was talking to Amanda, and we decided that I would just stay living with Dakota since we were to be married. Even though my original plan was to come up here for her and to live up here with her, we had a side discussion and talked it out. And I mean, I've seen Amanda plenty of times while I'm up here. Like, I'm still close. I'm only like 20 minutes from Fort Wayne, right? So within 3 months, we got engaged. Actually, we met, got engaged, and yeah, it moved really fast. My mom even was like, can't you guys wait like 6 months? And Dakota and I were like, no, not happening. So we decided to get married. We were going to do it that like in a week because we could get all the court shit done, but then it got pushed off to 2 weeks because of his work, because you know the Air Force life, things are uncalled for. And so we got married July 16th, like at like 1 in the morning, somewhere around there, literally right after midnight. Mattingly ordained it, which is Dakota's close friend. Amanda and her grandmother were our witness, so I borrowed her grandmother for our wedding while she was up here visiting. So yeah. And then here we are, married. So in the time that Dakota and I, the first 2 months, we FaceTimed every day. Either we woke each other up or we fell asleep together on FaceTime. FaceTimed all the time, whenever. Dakota was literally FaceTiming me every day. When he got off work, when he went to work, etc. Shit like that. So everyone here was already kind of like getting accustomed to knowing about me or like hearing about me. No one from home was getting to know him because I hid him for a while because of the fact that usually when I first meet someone, the minute I mention them, they're gone. So I didn't mention him for that reason. And so we just kept getting to know each other and kept talking, and we shared stories together. And he, there was times where when I was doing school, I wrote a paper on my disorder, which I'll cover another time. And he stayed on FaceTime with me while I read it to him and wrote it so that he could understand my disorder, how it was. This is a month and a half in. Actually, this is right before the semester ended, so a little bit, yeah, this is about a month and a half in. So he literally listened to me. Actually, this is less than a month in. He wanted to know about it. So he wanted to know about it so that he knew how to handle me and how to like work with my disorder, because it's not exactly the easiest. So to me, that was a big sign that he was sticking around, because he wanted to know more about my disorder and to help me and to like understand for future reference. And he knew that because I explained my unluckiness with men. Well, he, after about 2 weeks, was like, how long has it been since we've been talking? And I was like, probably about 2 weeks. And he goes, I haven't left yet, have I? And it's like he always did that, where he just proved me wrong. Like, he proved me wrong that he wasn't going anywhere. And that was really big to me. And I FaceTimed him in front of my mom, and he said hi to my mom, and he was really happy to meet her, and he wants to meet her in the future, like, of course, when we go visit family. We are trying to come home in March for my niece's birthdays, but if he can't because of work, then it's just going to be me. But he really wants to come home so he can meet my family, and then I would go meet his family at another leave time for him. And so we plan on doing all of that. Dakota and I got married really quickly. Part of it was because he wants me on his orders. Whether he is physically paying for me to go places with him or the military is in order for me to get on his orders, he was like, we need to do it now. And I had no problem with that, because I look at Dakota and I don't second guess my feelings. I don't regret him. I don't regret anything we've done. Yeah, we have normal disagreements like normal married couples. We communicate, we talk our shit out, we don't go to bed angry. We can't hide. We don't hide our emotions from each other. And that's what I love about us, is that we don't hide our feelings. We tell each other. One of us gives in, if not both of us. And that's what I value the most, is that I can trust him. Is that if I ask him something, he's going to give me the correct answer. Not the correct answer, but the right answer. He's going to tell me the truth. And he's there reassuring me constantly, because I know I need reassurance. I've got issues, and he knows that. And I'm there constantly giving him reassurance as much as he is giving me reassurance. And we say I love you every day. There's times where it's like, I don't want to tell him what's wrong, but he'll get in front of me. He'll kneel in front of me and he'll be like, tell me what's wrong. And he makes me talk. And we do the same, where we make each other talk when something's wrong. And I could not be more grateful for how our relationship is currently. And I know a lot of people are like, wow, you guys moved fast. And it's like, yeah, we may have moved fast, but with how healthy our relationship is, I don't second guess it at all. I know some of Dakota's darkest secrets as much as he knows mine. And the longer we're together, the more surface. And the more I tell him about my childhood, and the more I find out about his. And it's crazy to think that I have a mom, like a mother-in-law and a father-in-law, and like a sister and brother-in-law back home, like back in Missouri. And it's crazy to think that by us getting married, we just joined families. And I'm so excited for that. I started our scrapbooking, and then Dakota and I are now on a workout program together. We're not really tracking our eating. We decided we're not going to track eating. We're just going to eat healthier. So, excuse me. We're not focused on like to a T tracking macros. We're just mindfully eating. We're being mindful about what we're doing. So we're more or less trying to get his finances in control, his debt paid off. We're trying to get our bodies healthier. We're just doing these things together. He let me plan our entire workout program. We go to the gym and we work out together. Like, it's literally like a partner thing, and I love it, because then I don't have to be the only one into it. And it's like, I can share my love with him. And it's so nice having the support to go back to the gym, and having someone who's like, we're going to the gym no matter what, like we're going no matter what, and the encouragement to do the things that we do. And I know it was a short telling of what our relationship is like and how it all began, because there's a lot that can happen in little than 4 months. There's a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of disagreements. We've had a few. We've never really fought. We don't scream and yell. Like, we catch each other when we raise our voices, but that's about it. We tell each other to catch the attitude, because we have attitude issues. But honestly, I know it's a short forthcoming about what our relationship is about, and there's a lot to it that people don't know. There's things I did not disclose on here for a reason, and just because of the touchiness of the content. However, I just want to leave everyone with this, is that I know there's a lot of people who are worried about me and worried about Dakota and how, if our relationship is even going to work. Dakota and I came across some feelings that we didn't tell each other, but just recently opened up to one another about. So the other night when I was laying in bed and I was looking at him. He was knocked out. He just gone. I was looking at him and I started crying. And I think, so I know this whole war thing is coming out. The thought of dying terrifies me. I was never scared of dying, okay? You'll find out that in another video. I was never scared of dying until I met Dakota. And that night was the night that I realized that if I die, then that means I don't get to live life with him. He makes living life so much more than I thought it could ever be. And I know that I shouldn't rely that on someone. But when you find someone that gives you those feelings of happiness and like makes you laugh 24/7 and just the emotions I get from being with Dakota, and I know a lot of people feel this way toward their partners. I could never imagine dying because that means I don't get to hug him. That means I don't get to live life with him. It means I don't get to fall asleep with him every night. There's things that I realize that dying would take away from us. And I can't imagine that. Ever since I moved to Alaska, I've been suicide thought free. And that's all because he made it to where I'm scared of dying. And I could not be more thankful to have found Dakota, because even though I was on that website since I was the age of 12 and I'm now 21, I found the love of my life on it. And I found someone who makes it to where life is 5 times more worth living than I myself made it more worth living. And I hope that one day everybody else finds someone like that. I hope that whoever out there right now is depressed finds someone that makes them feel this way. Because it is the best feeling in the world when you can have someone who makes you realize that life is a lot more than just doing normal shit every day. If getting married within less than 4 months is normal, then I didn't want it, because it's not normal. A lot of people frown upon it, and we did it. And that's what I love about our relationship, is nothing's normal about it. And to us, that's all that we want, is something that's more of a value to us. So thanks for watching. Keep track on my next video. I'll be releasing another video later this week or earlier this week, maybe even another one after that. But keep track. Have a good day, guys.